Friends, hello and welcome on techguruspeaks.com. Today I would like to describe Java constructor chaining. Java constructor chaining is a very useful concept in Java programming. It specifies that the first line of every constructor must be either a this call to another constructor in the same class or a super call to a superclass constructor. We have already seen the use of this and super with respect to Java programming. If I am not using the parenthesis beside it, this will be used as a reference of the current class, while super without the parenthesis symbol will be denoting the reference of the superclass. But with the addition of the parenthesis, it will mention that this followed by the bracket symbol tells that it is basically a particular constructor in the same class, while super followed by the parenthesis will indicate a particular superclass constructor. So that is the idea to be used here. So the thing is that the first line of every constructor can be this call to another constructor in the same class or a super call to a superclass constructor. If no constructor call is written as the first line of a constructor, the compiler will automatically insert a call to the default no argument superclass constructor. So that is the rule to be applied for Java constructor chaining. Now we will be trying to implement the concept by using some demonstration in terms of programming, and that will be done by using the NetBeans IDE, which is one of the most popular IDEs for Java programming. So let's move to the NetBeans IDE for coding demonstration. Now, before demonstrating constructor chaining, first I would like to mention a very important property of Java classes in terms of their constructor. Say for example, we have got two classes here, P and Q. P is the superclass and Q is the subclass. Both of them are having their individual default no argument constructor. So in the constructor of the class P, it is having a simple SOP statement mentioning that it's a superclass. Basically it is coming from the superclass, and in the constructor of the subclass it will be mentioning that it is basically indicating a subclass. So that is the idea. Now we have tried to create the objects of the respective classes, like it is basically indicating the object creation for the class P, and the next statement after the SOP statement will be denoting an object that will be of the class Q, that is the subclass. So now if I run the program, just have a look at the output here. So first I have tried to create an object of the class P, which happens to be the superclass here. So while it will be trying to create an object of the superclass, it will be basically printing this statement, because this is the only statement inside the superclass constructor. So while the object will be created, the superclass constructor gets called and its corresponding SOP statement will be get printed on the console. So that is the idea. Now for the second class, that means for the subclass named Q, whenever we are trying to create the object, the call will be first transferred to the subclass constructor, but here the subclass constructor will be looking for the default no argument constructor of the superclass. So that is why it will be first, whenever I will be trying to create an object of the subclass, first it will be looking for the superclass default no argument constructor. Since it is there, it will be printing the statement inside its body. So that is why the superclass, this line will be printed, followed by the line that is coming from the subclass constructor. Now just I would like to make some changes. Say for example, I am just omitting this line that will be representing the superclass constructor, and I will be trying to run the program, but still the program runs. Why? Because though we have not specified any default no argument constructor for the superclass, the compiler will automatically be inserting a default no argument constructor in the bytecode. That means in the dot class file. So that is why the code is a legal code, and this will be creating an object. Since we have not specified anything explicitly in terms of its default constructor definition, so that is why we are not getting any, say, response in terms of coding output. But the thing is that it will be working, and it is basically be inserted by the Java compiler. Now for the next line, since there is no default no argument constructor in the superclass, so there is nothing here to be defined explicitly, so nothing is coming out of it. So just it will be printing the statement inside the subclass constructor. So that is why we are getting this statement only. So that is the logic we are actually going to follow here. So now I'll be moving to the constructor chaining demonstration. Say for example, I am having a code with, say for example, three classes like grandparent, then comes parent and child. So that means we are having a multi-level inheritance. So grandparent is the top level class, followed by parent, and lastly we are having child. Now I have got the main class, which is named constructor chain, within which I have defined the main method, and from and within the main method I have tried to create an object of the child class. So now whenever I will be trying to create an object of the child class, it will be just looking for its corresponding constructor. But since there is a default no argument constructor of its immediate superclass that calls to be parent here, the call will be transferred to this particular superclass constructor. So this statement will not be get printed, it will be postponed until it is just coming back from its immediate superclass. So just it will be moving to the parent class constructor call. So now we are having a this. So that means it will be just looking for a constructor with the matching syntax. So this happens to be the second constructor of the parent class. So here this particular statement will not be printed here like the previous statement. So now it will be having the parameterized constructor of the parent class, and since there is a default no argument constructor of its immediate superclass that is called the grandparent, so it will be postponed. So now first it will be trying to execute the statements within the body of the grandparent default no argument constructor. So if I am trying to execute this program, you can see it like the control will be first moved here, then from this it will be looking for the immediate superclass default no argument constructor, so it will be moving here. So here we are having a this call, so that is why it is looking for the a different constructor of the same class. It happens to be a parameterized constructor. Now it will be looking for the default no argument constructor of its immediate superclass, which happens to be the grandparent. Now after that there is no top level class, so that is why it will be get printed. Okay, and basically from this particular class the control will now be transferred to this parameterized constructor of the parent class. So now it will be printing this line like parent 30 constructor, 30 being the value. Next comes, so now the control will be transferred here, so it will be printing parent constructor. Now from this particular parent class constructor the control will be back to the child class constructor. So this will be the last line to be printed according to the code of this program. So last line will be child constructor. So in that way the program will be getting executed. So that is the basic thing to be remembered for implementing the concept of constructor chaining. Here we have done this by using the this like this call to a particular uh, constructor in the same class. So now I'll be moving to a complicated example that will be having this and super both. Say for example I am having a class named cube. It is having three attributes like three instance fields, length, breadth and height. So we are having a method that will be calculating the volume. Now we are having three constructors of the cube class. First one is indicating a default no argument constructor. Within this particular constructor we have a this call to another constructor. So it is basically a parameterized constructor with two arguments. So as a first line it will be having a call to another constructor in the same class. So it is having a three parameters. So in that way we can have three different constructors of the same class named cube. The first one is indicating default no argument constructors and the rest of them are indicating parameterized constructor. So it is basically a parameterized constructor with two parameters and it is indicating a parameterized constructor with three parameters. Now we have got a subclass of cube that is called special cube. It is having an extra attribute that is called an instance field and it is named weight. Now we are having three subclass constructors like the superclass. So first one is indicating a default no argument constructor followed by two parameterized constructor with 2 and 3 parameters respectively. So that is the structure. Now within the special cube class I have got the main method, and within main method I have tried to create objects of the superclass and the subclass. So now look at the program here and try to understand what's going on, and at the same time I will be trying to explain the output of the program. So first we are trying to create an object of the special cube class. So that means what? The control will be first transferred here, like this is the default no argument constructor of the special cube. Now just have a look at it. You are having a super call as the first line of the special cube default no argument constructor. So that means what? That means the control will now be transferred to the this particular constructor of its superclass, that is cube. Now within cube default no argument constructor we have a this call. So that is why it will be looking for the matching parameterized constructor and it happens to be this one. So it will be passing the value as 10 10. So that is why for the second parameterized constructor it will be, I mean to say the second constructor, it will be having the values as 10 and 10. So now it is having another this call, so it will be indicating a parameterized constructor with three parameters. Okay, so now from here the control will be transferred to the third constructor. So here the value will be the third argument being 10, so the value of age will be 10. So in that way length, breadth and height these three instance fields will be initialized. So now we are having a line here like cube constructor having three parameters. Okay, so that is why this line will be get printed followed by this one, because after this line getting executed, the control will be transferred to its particular superclass constructor that is named cube. So it will be printing cube constructor having two parameters, and from here the control will be transferred to this particular superclass constructor with no argument. So default cube constructor. So first line will be cube constructor having three parameters, then comes cube constructor having two parameters, and finally default cube constructor. So that will be the output for this particular statement whenever we'll be trying to create an object of the special cube. And at the same time the value of the like weight, this particular instance field will now become 0. So in that way we can now calculate the value of volume. So now it happens to be 10 10 10 for length, breadth and height. So the volume will be basically 10 into 10 into 10. So that means what? That means it will print the value as 1000, and last the value of weight is basically 10. So just have a look at the output here. So it is basically trying to create an object of the special cube class. So now it is having super, so it will be now transferred to this one. So now we are having this with two parameters, so it will be now transferred to here. So from this particular constructor we are having another this with three parameters. Now it will be transferred to this one because it is the matching constructor of the same class. So now L, B and age will be 10, and length, breadth and height will be initialized. Now after that we are having a particular statement, SOP statement, that will be printing this line. So after this it will be getting executed. So this line will be getting printed followed by the default cube constructor, this statement. So finally we will be considering the second statement for the object creation. So here we are having two parameters 10 and 20. So it is basically related to the special cube class and the constructor, that is a parameterized constructor with two parameters. So we'll find a match here. So whenever we'll be trying to create the second object by using this constructor of the special cube class, so it will be trying to refer to this particular constructor of the special cube class. So now the value of L will be 10 and the value of B will be 20. So now we are having a this call. So that means the control will be now transferred to the matching same class constructor, that is the parameterized constructor with three parameters. So this one, so with the value L as 10, B as 20 and age as 10. So that is a new value being assigned here. So now from here we are basically having a super call, because we have already mentioned that, say, in order to have constructor chaining, the first line of the constructor will have either the this call or the super call. So here we are having a super call. So that is why the control will be now be transferred to the this particular, because this is the matching, it is having three parameter. So it will be now referring to its superclass constructor, that is a parameterized superclass constructor with three parameters. So it will be trying to initialize the values first, then it will try to execute this statement. So that is why we are having this statement to be printed. So cube constructor having three parameters. So this is for the second object. Okay, now from this particular superclass constructor, the control will now be transferred to this one. Sorry, I mean to say this one. Okay, so basically that is why it will be printing this line like special cube constructor having three parameters. So this is the second line to be printed. Now it was called by this one, so that is why we are now having this statement. special cube constructor having two parameters. Now we are having the value of weight as 20, remember it. And what will be the value of volume? Like, so we will be now calling this get volume method. The value of length is basically 10, breadth is basically 20, and height is basically 10. So that is why we are getting the output as 2000, and for the value weight it will be 20 because it was initialized with the value 20. So that is the logic of the program that I have tried to implement here. Basically I have tried to demonstrate here constructor chaining in Java, and here we have to consider two different cases, like the constructor of a class can have a this call or a super call. So in that way it will form a chain of constructor. So that is the constructor chaining concept. It is a useful concept in core Java programming, and that I have tried to demonstrate here with the necessary explanation. I hope that you have understood the logic for implementing constructor chaining in Java programming. I also hope that you have thoroughly watched this video, and if you like this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here comes my YouTube channel, and please visit my website for a lot of useful information, and this is my official email ID. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.